Alright, hey, what's up guys? How's it going? Happy Sunday, I think it's October 19th, 2014. And yeah, that's the dog barking outside. It's not our dog, but it's probably somewhere across the lawn. So where's dog that is, I don't know. He's probably, barking at something, I don't know. Well anyway, so in today's video I'm going to read chapter 4. And it's simply titled A Conversation Part 2. Deux meaning two in French. I decided to be a little creative there, Yeah, I know, it's kind of dumb, but whatever. It's section 1, which means it's going to be the first section of this conversation. And as I see throughout this chapter, there's 3 sections. So there'll be 3 different kind of conversations that will introduce something different to the story. So again, we're still with Ro and his commander. So chapter 3 was just summarizing their conversation from before. And how at the end we find out that Ro's commander had recorded him saying that he had doubted his mission, to conquer the earth and get the resources. Whereas with Ro, he thought this whole time that he was, his best ally, and they had concocted a plan for them to take over the empire once they had accomplished this mission entirely. So in simple terms, things have taken a turn for the worse, or interesting, if you will, or however you want to work that stuff out. So without further ado, I'm going to read chapter 4, the first section of this conversation, and we will see how is this going to play out. Like, how is this going to bring a new element to the story. And so for now, we're still focusing on Ro and his commander. So again, chapter 4 will just be another conversation chapter. But I do promise there will be some new elements added into it. So, without further ado, let's begin. So here's Ro. So, you knew this whole time. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to do this. This time I'm just going to just change my voice on the spot and see how I do for this video. That's right. I deliberately did this on purpose so I would be able to keep a watch on you. Just to be sure nothing was going to happen. But why? I'm just not that naive. I'd figure sooner or later you would think of a plan to not carry out the plan, or something, and somehow come back and say that something happened, and that it was just not possible to carry out. You really thought we had that type of power? Couldn't say I had seen this before. You'd be surprised at how many people will actually give you loyalty as long as they get what they want. Luckily for us, we eventually find out, and we take care of the problem. I wouldn't do that. I'm devoted to my mission. I would certainly not have done that. I know, but I only did this to be safe. You understand, right, Ro? I understand, my liege. Oh, goody. I'm glad you understand. I do, and I won't tell anyone about this espionage. Say what? I said I won't tell anyone about these recordings. You do realize that we each have sent a... well, I just got around myself, but continuing. You do realize that we can have you sent to prison for admitting to using recording devices to maliciously threaten us? I see. What do you have to say about that, sir? Well, I would say that you are out of luck in that department. Excuse me? You are out of luck. Did you understand my statement? No, I did not. Would you mind repeating it again? Trying to sound sarcastic there, huh? No, I'm just trying to prove a point. And what is that? I can't believe you would just threaten to sell us out like that for your own profit and self-interest. I just can't compute it. And after all these years we've known each other and all the hard times that we went through, and you were willing to just throw it all away for some money? Is money really that much more valuable than our friendship? Is it really? I thought we were going to get the plan we had in mind ago and become partners in ruling the biggest empire in all of the universe. I just can't believe what I just heard. You are so naive, aren't you? Apparently I am. Listen to me, and listen to me good. Friendships come and go. I can be someone's friend one day, and the next day they get executed for spying against the regime. Usually it won't last forever. Now, money and power, on the other hand, will. It will definitely give you empowerment over a certain population. And you will be able to use the money to acquire to make all your dreams and wishes come true. This is the point when you realize you cannot have friends anymore. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. Once you have money, the friendships you seem to be trying to tell me die away. And then your supposed friends only stick around because they know they will get a hold of the chunk of money. You can't trust them anymore. You end up killing them off just because you get paranoid that your friends will overtake you and replace you as the head of the throne. And obviously, you would not let that happen. Simply put, I can't trust you. Now that I really thought about the plan that we had going through, you see, you might one day want to get rid of me and take over power for your selfish greed and self-interest. So, whoa, how could you? How could you accuse me of ever doing that? I wouldn't do a thing to you if we did take over the temple. We would share the power equally and divide the money between ourselves. I'm all for equality. I don't believe you understand what I'm saying. And after I did my whole monologue and all, I do. But I wouldn't do such a thing. I thought we were going to be partners. As if. If I had the chance, I would. Yes? Hello? Okay. What? What's wrong, sire? No, you can't do this to me. You just can't. Please, I beg of you, don't. Sir, what is going on? Tell me. Please, have mercy. Anything but that. Anything. No, they're here. No, leave me alone. No, get away from me. No. What in the world is going on? Be right back. Alright, hey guys, welcome back. Sorry about that interruption. I had, some things I had to do, but now I'm back. So, let me read just like the last 5 lines of this particular section. Now, when we will talk and discuss what's happened. So basically, how it goes is like this. Sir, what is going on? Tell me. Please, have mercy. Anything but that. Anything. No, they are here. No, leave me alone. No, get away from me. No. What in the world is going? And then it says, caller has been disconnected. Dang it. So, what's happened? So basically, you have Ro and the commander still discussing, they're basically going back and forth about how, why would you betray me? I thought we were in this together. And how the commander goes on this monologue about how, money is the way to go. Friends come and go, but money always stays with you to the end, until the day you die. And that's why you should value that and power over any mere friendship, because you always have new friends, come in and come out. I just realized that my face is half dark and half light, probably because I'm next to the window, so I'm like half face. Or I forgot the guy from Spider-Man or Batman, and that's how I feel like I am right now. But anyway, so essentially that goes on, and then we get this surprising development at the end where the chief is being something's going on behind the scenes where he gets cut off. I mean, we don't know if he's being taken captive, or he's, or he's in some kind of struggle with something. We don't know. We might find out though in the next section. So let's go on and see what actually has happened. So the next first section is called A Conversation Part 2, Section 2. So let's see what happens here. Hello? Hi. What happened? I heard you screaming and everything, and all of a sudden everything got cut off? It's okay, ignore it. I'm not ignoring it. Just do this for me and ignore it, please. I want to know what happened to you, now spit it out. No, I will not, and that's final. Why won't you tell me? Because why? Because why do you care? Because I do care. Why would you care? After all the horrible things I said to you, you would still care? I think not. I still care. I don't care about what has happened between us recently. You don't? Really? Yes, really. Why are you doing this? Look, if you want to apologize for what happened earlier, I'm sorry, okay? There, I said it. I apologize for what happened. I thank you for your apology. That was really thoughtful of you. It was? Absolutely. I feel much better now. I'm sorry for what has happened between us. No problem at all. Are we allies again? Yes, definitely, Will. I guess we leave it now. Talk to you later. Have a great day, my liege. And that's where it ends. So I guess whatever's happened, even though we technically don't see what actually happens to the commander in chief, we do see that, Ro is concerned enough to where he wants to talk to him and understand what has happened. And this is even after the commander threatened to throw him under the bus for his own gain. And yeah, no, Ro doesn't see his way past that. And I think I see a good moral there in that, if you really love, your best friend, you will sometimes look past his flaws and realize that he's just going through a moment of self-loathing or some sort. It's like Rosa with his commander. I mean, he knows his commander is not a bad person. He just fell under a bad thought, a bad predicament, and he just used it for his own advantage. So I thought this was pretty interesting to see what has happened. So with that, we move on to section 3 now, which is, from what I can see, the last section of this chapter. And so, like I said, to recap, Ro and the commander are still discussing on their command center as to what's going on. We just saw Ro and the commander make amends for what has happened, between them. And so with that, you start thinking, well, what's gonna happen next? Well, this is where I come in, and this is where you are gonna find out. So here we go. And yeah, I'm gonna go back to this because I think it's pretty cool for me to do this. I think so. Let's go. Good evening, Ro. Hey, sire. How are you today? I've been alright. Just been busy lately with some work. I see. Yeah. I wanted to ask you something before I forget. Is that okay? Fine with me. Fire away. I asked you in our last communications call if you would tell me what had happened to you that had our phone call terminated earlier, but you refused because you didn't want to tell me. Well, I'm very curious. What happened? I mean, did something bad happen? Yeah, are you sure you want to know? Yes, my liege. Well, you are a trusted companion of mine. I shall tell you what happened to me then. Thank you for your compliment, my liege. You're most welcome. Now, let's see, where do we start? Oh, I almost forgot. I want to tell you that we have saved some more time than we originally thought, sire. What do you mean by that? It seems that we are getting closer to Earth than we anticipated. Really? How long then will it take for you guys to get there? About a week at most. I see that we are making progress as we speak then. You're right about that, sir. Yes, I am. Hopefully our plan will be in full effect once we reach our destination. Agreed. Let's see now. What is it, my liege? I just realized something. And what is that, if I may ask? I've been thinking about you guys, and what if this doesn't succeed? I mean, we are confident ourselves that we're going to get the job done. If you can believe in us, we will accomplish this soon. Trust us. I know, I apologize. I shouldn't doubt my own team. It is perfectly alright. At least you care. That's true. Oh, could I ask a question? Shoot. About what had happened that you were about to tell me. Oh, you mean the incident? Yes, if you might tell, my liege. I guess I'll share if you want. Absolutely. Well, it all started like this. I was busy doing some paperwork and having a conversation with you when all of a sudden this empire of fishes stormed into my home and started to pillage my house. Books, drawers, photos, everything they saw in sight were just destroyed. When I tried to stop them and explain what was going on, they tased me with an electric generator, and that basically shut me off for a few hours. I woke up about 3 hours later in a very lonely room. There was 4 gray walls with nothing significant about them. Right in the middle of my vision, I could see just a small box. I thought it was just a small box at first sight. Then I looked closer. It turned on. Yes, I could see our leader of the empire on that screen. It was obviously a telescreen from what I had observed. He began to talk to me directly. He sounded as if he had something to hide. You want to kill me, do you? He asked. I stood there, shaken.
scared, chilled to the bone. I couldn't open my mouth to save my life. Well, answer me. I just couldn't talk. Alright, if you're not gonna speak, I have my methods of getting people to talk. Boys. So, these two guards came along, bringing in a bucket of water, and that is where it got ugly.
I'm sorry.
No need to be. Or to continue. They held the bucket over my head at a 50-degree angle. Then he spoke again. Tell us the truth or face the shower. The shower was the worst thing that any humanoid being could ever go through. Imagine the painful electric shocks that would static throughout the entire structure, suffering in pain with no remorse. I just couldn't talk at all. It was almost as if someone had come in and erased my memory of how to speak when asked a question. It was just horrible.
Look, you don't have to tell me what happens here then if you don't want to.
No, I feel like I must. I had to let it out some way or another. I thought that maybe I could open up to you and maybe tell you what happened. Because to be honest, you are probably one of the only people I can trust for my stories. Of course, you won't tell anyone, not even your loyal crew, would you?
Absolutely not. You can count on me on it.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, as I was saying, I couldn't talk at all. I just couldn't. His presence alone made me feel inferior, unwanted, weak, like if all my energy had escaped due to sheer terror. It was just really stressful for me. Then, as soon as I decided that I wasn't going to give an answer to him, he nodded his head to his guards, and what they did next is something that will haunt me for the rest of my life. They started pouring the water. It hurt like they had never hurt me before. The stings, the shocks, the bolts I felt throughout my humanoid body, it was unreal, to say the least. Never before have I felt so helpless, so unable, so frightened. It was something that I wish I would have never experienced in my life. The water just kept pouring, and every second that passed by, I felt more and more peaceful and in bliss. I don't know, but I feel as if this was only going to be temporary, and this would all end very soon. Out of nowhere, I let out a cry. I didn't do it. Please let me go. The pouring stopped for a moment. The guards stiffened their chest and faced forward. I looked up. So then, who was the conspirator behind these assassination thoughts? You realize the dire punishment as inflicted on those who tried to conspire against an oath to our government. Now tell me, who was it? I couldn't talk to save my life at that point. His repetition grew more intense. Tell me who did this now.
And what did you say?
I said, who? I'm so sorry, I just can't say it.
Please tell me. I won't tell you if it's really that personal.
It's not that. It just involves a certain someone I know.
Someone you know?
Yes.
Would it happen to be...
What were you going to say?
Did it happen to be me that you told me of?
Please, tell me you're not mad, I beg of you.
You deceiver. You told me it was me who came with the assassination plot, didn't you?
I heard no choice.
No choice? This is nonsense. You could have just said someone else did it then. Why didn't you?
It just didn't come to my mind, okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. Now they're just gonna wait till you get home to execute you. Oh, what have I done? Oh no, I'm sorry. Please forgive.
I will talk to you later. Bye.
I know we can work something out.
I said goodbye. And that's it. That's how chapter 4 ends. And boy, did something just happened. So, I guess that whole ruckus that had happened earlier, it turned out to be that the commander himself was questioned by the leader of the empire himself. And with this, He then asked him who was the one that conspired to kill to take over the kingdom. And I guess he didn't have the heart to say anybody else because he just couldn't speak. He was so shocked and terrified that what they were doing to him in the spraying of the water, which is significant because they're robonoids. And since they're all mechanical and made of static electricity, you guys do know that when water touches an electrical component, it shocks you. If you're nearby, it conducts electricity. So the water hurts them a lot. So at that point, you could realize that he had no choice but to turn the guy who was talking about him. And even though he himself had a part of it, he blamed Roe because, as he said, he couldn't think. That was all he could think of at the time was him because that was the last conversation he had with. So, and with that, now what this does is now Roe is now in danger. Roe will now realize that he can never go back now. He cannot really complete the mission then because when he gets home, he will be executed on the spot for even conspiring to invade him. So that leaves Roe with a predicament. He can never go back. He has to go himself and basically self-exile because he can never return to his home because he'll die. Maybe along with his crew. So now that brings a new element to the story. So the way it ends is Roe just cuts him off and then he just goes on. Now we don't know what Roe's going to do at that point, but as you'll see in the later chapters of the story, we will find out what he will do. And as for Code 2327, well, for now he's just going ahead doing his own thing. So essentially, to recap the four chapters, we have read the backstories of two characters. The first two being Code 2327 and the other one being Roe. So now they're both going to Earth. And as far as what's going to happen at that point later on, once they reach the Earth, again, you'll just have to stay tuned for next time as the days come up. So with that being said, thanks for joining us for this episode of the Chronicles of the Universe, Chapter 4. We will see you guys tomorrow for Chapter 5 reading, which is simply called, and since I have time, I'll just read it out, A Free Mind. So I'll let that say in a little bit to see what that chapter might be about. And let's just say it's going to be another monologue type chapter where, somebody will talk from himself about something. Who knows who it will be? But with that being said, I will let that thought simmer into you. And with that, I say thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.